Yes, we're live. We're live. So I'm starting with my AI song I wrote about Michelle Obama. We're going to start the news with, we're only going uphill. We're going to start down here in the basement with my Mean Michelle Obama song. You guys can tell me what you think of it in the chat. Welcome to Doug in Exile live.
She steps to the mic with a skull and a glare, saying men don't get women, they just don't care. So many men have no idea what women go through, she cries, but we're tired of her lectures, her rolling eyes. She's preaching about choice like it's all we should know, but her bitter old rants steal the whole dang show. Clueless, says men missing the mark. We haven't been researched, she shouts in the dark. But who's she to judge with her mansion and fame? Always pointing a finger, always shifting a blame. Overrated, entitled, she's the queen of complaint. Thinks she's speaking for all, but I say she ain't. Oh, mean Michelle, why you so bitter? Your lectures don't shine, it's glue covered in glitter. It's been reduced to choice, you moan and you sigh. Exhausted by you and your stick has run dry. Stop your whining, stop your fuss. MAGA's had enough of your lecturing us.
I won't text it.
She says our health's a machine, but her logic's a mess. The least of what it does is produce life, she confess. Sounds like she's spinning a tale to confuse, while she's sipping white wine in her designer shoes. Entitled and grumpy, she's out of touch. Thinks she's still the first lady, we gave her a flush. Oh, mean Michelle, why you so bitter? Your lectures don't shine, it's glue covered in glitter. It's been reduced to choice, you moan and you sigh. We're exhausted by you and your stick has run dry. Stop your whining, stop your fuss. MAGA's had enough of your lecturing us.
I wrote this using AI.
No discussion, no connection, you claim with a sneer, but your words divide us, they don't bring us near. You point at the men, call them blind as can be, but your mean streak's the problem everyone sees. We're proud of our values, our faith and our fight, so take your complaints, put them where it's not light. Oh, mean Michelle, pack up your frown. Your overrated act ain't the talk of the town. It's about our life, you shout, but we're done. MAGA's moving forward, we're having real fun. So wave bye-bye from your elite ivory tower. We're singing this song with American God.
That was an old episode where I made an AI song about Mean Michelle Obama. I love it. Oh, but she's complaining about white people again. Welcome to the chat, everybody. I see my memberships are open. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. Thank you for, and the best way to support us is just to watch. It's free. You just watch a show. It's easy. And we make fun of Michelle Obama the whole time. I don't use certain nicknames for her, but you guys are allowed, and I laugh every single time you do it. So with that, let's get to Michelle Obama's absolutely racist against white people comments here. This is insane.
Exposure to the high end of Chicago, and to access those places and not be accused of stealing, you realize very early on that you better let them hear you talk, or, you know, come in with the right LaSac case, or else you would be watched. And, you know, so I think I learned.
She's talking about how white people will watch her, and later she'll imply that we attack her if she doesn't wear the right purse and the way that she talks, which is, I don't know, maybe I've been doing white people wrong all this time. Any white people out there, just start throwing violence at black women if they don't have the right purse?
Then that how you show up, especially when it comes to white folks looking at young black kids, that how you present can sometimes save your life.
So now if she presents herself in a certain way, she saves her life from white people who look at black kids. Now I've been doing the white people thing my whole life, last I checked, and I don't remember a prerequisite of black people is to present the right way for them to preserve their life. Am I missing something? Maybe there's some white people who can help me translate. I'm only talking about my lived experience. I love Michelle, the Black Lives Matter people always talk about that whites can't comment on blacks because of their lived experience. And here she is with a lived experience as a black woman talking about what white males do. Apparently the rules only go one way. And if there's, of course, I got a ton of black people in my audience too. Would love to hear from you guys what you think of this idea that blacks have to present a certain way or white people will injure you.
So yeah, I think I was learning that all throughout my youth.
She learned something all throughout her youth from Gramsci and from Barack Obama's radical communist people that probably raised her this way. Her radical parents probably raised her to think white people hate you. White people are coming to get you, and all of your problems are because of white people. You know what I taught my kids? I'm a white guy. You know what I taught my kids? I taught my kids, if a cop ever pulls you over, you put both hands on the steering wheel or up on the dash, you get your license out before he walks up to the car so he doesn't have to see you fiddling in the glove compartment and in your pants. And I told my kids, no matter who the cop is, if he catches you reaching into your pants or reaching into the glove box when he pulls you over, expect to get shot, even if the cop's black. That's what I taught my kids. I didn't teach them they were victims. I didn't teach them the cops were out to get them. I said, you know, every time they walk up to a car, they don't know what you're doing in that glove compartment. So you get out your license, registration, before they walk up and even talk to you about what you were doing. You have it sitting there, your paperwork, and it's yes, sir, no, sir. That's how I raised my kids. Okay. Wait, it doesn't end there. It gets even better. You know, Michelle always complains about being a black person, and she's going to give us some beauty tips here. Again, I don't get it. I've never seen someone more. I think she actually wants to be white. She hates being black so much.
Worry about it. Let me explain something to white people.
Oh, yes. Do educate me. Explain something, because I don't know, First Lady. My skull's kind of thick. I need you to explain it to me. I'm kind of dumb. Please, Michelle, teach me. I got to explain this to white people all the time. Okay, explain.
Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us...
Wait, if straight hair my beauty standards? I used to love Macy Gray. She had this giant afro. I used to watch The Electric Company. Morgan Freeman had this giant fro. I used to watch What's Happening. Michael, the little guy, had this huge fro. Thelma on Good Times. Incredible curvy body. One of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. Had a big black fro. So what the hell is this woman talking about with white people beauty standards? That's sickening. You're sick. This lady is hateful, and this is Obama was so racially divisive. This is the kind of little Little stuff that they do. They're trying to infuriate blacks, going white people beauty standards. You know what, Michelle? If you don't like the alleged white dominant beauty standards, don't follow them. I'm 6'8". How well do I fit in normal white, normal male, handsome standards? I'm 6'8", 189 pounds. I'm 59 years old with giant bags under my eyes, a giant cancer scar. Where do I fit in with I don't remember. My dad used to say when he saw me slouch because I'm 6'8", he'd go, you know, Doug, you look like you're ashamed of your height. I said, Dad, I kind of am. I feel like I stick out. And he said, you know, Doug, no one gets to stand in line to pick out their body when they're born. That's why you never go after someone's physical appearance. Michelle didn't stand in line to become a black woman. I didn't stand in line to be a 6'8" white man. But she's resentful that she didn't get in the white line or something. I see your comments. I see you guys. Yeah, thumbs up all. Thank you. Mad news now. Tell it, Doug. Thumbs up all. Thumbs up if you agree that Michelle Obama has a problem. And it's not that she's black. It might be that she's not a she.
Can't swim, and we run away from the water.
Now, if I said black people can't swim and they run away from the water, I guess this is one of those things where only she's allowed to say that. That's fine. I get it. You know, I'm a Christian. I want to rip on Christians. I don't want to ever hear an atheist rip on Christians. Okay. We got this. We can make fun of our own. But she said, like, that's why you never see black people swimming. I thought that was a stereotype.
Away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all.
What the?
It is exhausting and it's so expensive.
How many white people are demanding black people keep their hair straight for y'all? I don't remember us. I don't remember the white tribe ever having this discussion. Did I just fall out of my own show? I just hit my mouse sideways. And I just pushed myself out of my own. Yeah, bring back the afro. We like afros. Right, gang? I think afros are kind of awesome. If I had to pick, I mean, I don't get to pick, but okay, I'll get through the rest of it here. Sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulties. I'm still figuring out live. It'd be so much easier if I lived by other people's rules, I guess.
And it takes up so much time.
Oh.
Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act?
Breaks are for y'all. You people.
An act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair. Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it.
Wait. I'm allowed to wonder about it. You know what's awesome? If I ever see an afro, I want to just dig my fingers into it. I'll admit it. Guilty. That might be racist. I'm allowed to wonder. Man, this lady, she hates our honky guts.
Don't touch it.
I want to touch. I like touching. Don't tell me what I wonder about. Don't touch it.
Don't.
Well, I think Michelle is safe. That this is a massive meltdown. You guys nailed it. She's completely falling apart. This is like one of the nastiest public, and she's laughing. I'd be so embarrassed. If she's serious, I mean, if she's joking, man, I hope you're joking. because deep down inside, it looks like she kind of means I'm overheating in here. Guys, look at this. It's in the winter in Tennessee and I'm overheating. I was oil painting over there 4 hours today and still did my full-time work. But Michelle, you are a complete basket case. We're going to get to more news here. Little bit of bad news before it goes back uphill. Okay. Here's the persistence. Gay Scott Pressler, since we're apparently doing identity politics here on the Doug Show, on Doug in Exile. Scott Pressler is one of the greatest workers for the Republican Party, registering voters. He says Republican senators in Indiana are not moving forward with redistricting. This is something Trump was counting on, MAGA was counting on, all of us were hoping for. Republicans in Indiana screwed MAGA over. Despite the fact that voters overwhelmingly support redrawing congressional maps, which make them fair. Alex, count me in for anything in Indiana. I will help primary and defeat saboteurs. That's a promise. Here's the actual news broken by Alex Briswitz. A monumental betrayal is unfolding in Indiana right now. Spineless rhino legislators have sabotaged and buried Republicans' vital redistricting push, and they're letting Gavin Newsom and left-wing Democrats get closer to stealing the House. The weak as hell state Senate President Bray Roderick. There's Bray. Bray looks kind of cross-eyed, eyes too close together. Well, yeah, I just said I'm not going to make fun of the physical attributes of others. State Senate President Bray Roderick doesn't have the guts to put redistricting up for a vote. I was just in Fort Wayne, Indiana on Monday, rallying hundreds of fired-up patriots who are unanimously demanding redistricting reform. Every genuine Republican across the state stands firmly behind it. Yet these treacherous rhinos stonewall and sabotage at every turn. Our party can no longer afford to harbor these gutless, self-serving traitors who stab us in the back while accomplishing absolutely nothing. See, you thought I was going to come after just Michelle and the communists. Here I'm coming after our own Republican Party. The entire MAGA movement will be mobilized to Indiana to primary and oust every last rhino blocking these essential reforms to rescue our nation. This will include the totally clueless, weak state Senate president. We'll get the full list of rhinos who are obstructing shortly. What a disgrace. When we get that out, we will report on it. Statement from Senate President Pro Tem Broderick Ray. I don't even want to read it. But let's look at this guy. Here's the guy. See? This is the kind of jock that picked on me when I was in high school. 16 years old, 6'8", 180 pounds. This guy. Every frat, every guy in every frat I ever met. These are them. Indiana State Senator representing Johnson, Morgan, Putnam, and Owen counties. At Bray _ Roderick. Not helping Trump. Here's DC Drano. Indiana State is backstabbing MAGA. Bray Roderick just cancels the legislative session before 2 new GOP House seats could be voted on. So he canceled the session so that they couldn't vote on it. Wow. With allies like this, who needs Democrats? Something stinks to high heavens in Indiana, and I have a feeling it's former Indiana Governor Mike Pence and Mitch Daniels pulling the rhino strings. Now, that's a baseless accusation. It's simple. Just go ask them. To add insult to injury, here's Pete Buttigieg weighing in on it. This is big. Elected Republicans in deep red states saying no to Trump even after his personal plea. The balance is shifting. See, it's encouragement to the enemy, aid and comfort to the enemy. And we have to keep up the pressure everywhere. Pete Buttigieg thinks it's his pressure. What kind of pressure is he under, I wonder? Where does the pressure hurt you, Pete? In the Buttigieg? Here's Senate Judiciary Republicans, FBI agents who attempted to investigate Hillary Clinton. Guilty. That's what I call her. Hillary Guilty Clinton. Not Hillary Rodham, Hillary Guilty Clinton. FBI agents who tried to investigate Hillary Clinton's criminal activity faced extreme resistance from partisan higher-ups in the FBI. That's before Kash Patel. Quote, I've never been met with such suspicion or responses intended to have me go away, says the whistleblower. Quote, she's confrontational and condescending and a chilling effect. So here's the exhibit. Campaign Legal Center complaint. This is from June of 2019, back when we could have done something about it. Got your message. So this is him complaining within that they won't let him blow the whistle. We're going to take a quick departure before we get back to more news with AI update. This is Elon Musk. Now, we've talked a lot about Medicare and medical and health insurance and how it affects old people. And we're not replacing ourselves with enough youth. So there's a massive tech war going on with robots. Here's Elon Musk with the future of medicine. You know how, by the way, all of us, if you've already been under surgery, I have, they already use robots to steady, surgeons already use robots to steady the laser to do certain surgeries in the brain because machines can be more steady than a human being at a molecular level, like tiny, tiny micro surgeries. Here's Elon Musk on the future of medicine being robots. And I believe healthcare, nursing, they can do simple things. Not a full front to back robot. It's not going to be that. It's going to be aiding humans and helping extend the work of nurses and doctors, which is good.
So imagine a world where everyone has access to the best surgeons, literally everyone. And Optimus will have a level of precision that is frankly superhuman, and will be able to do medical procedures, of very sophisticated medical procedures, any medical procedure, perhaps things that really humans can't even do because they're too difficult.
So imagine that. The most difficult thing would be like Ben Carson splitting the Siamese twins' brains. And a robot would do a better job. Not just one robot, but what if every robot had the same equipment and the same programming and knowledge base for prescriptions, medical procedures, blood tests, all that. They can come to your house. I'd like to have a doctor make house calls. And it's the first doctor that's going to make a house call again after about 30 years of no house calls. Maybe 40 years of no house calls. It's going to be robots are going to be doing medical house calls again.
And that will be available to anyone. You know, people often talk about eliminating poverty and providing great medical care, but they never actually have a solution. And money doesn't solve it because there are only so many, there's a very limited number of great doctors and surgeons. They don't grow on trees. But now they'll get.
So picture the very best doctor and surgeon, best medical advice, walking around in a robot. Why is this important? Why? Because there's a massive tech race going on at the robot level, and we have to beat China. What's China doing? China is rolling out hundreds of UB Tech's new Walker S2 humanoid robots, making the first mass delivery of industrial robots to major manufacturers for continuous factory and logistics work. China has a massive, when they did the one-child policy back in the 80s, because they were afraid of overpopulation, they only allowed their population to have one child, so they tended to abort their female fetuses, and so they had an overwhelming number of males, but just one child. And now they're in for complete civilizational population collapse. That's true for most of the world, by the way. Italy's going to beat them at that civilizational collapse because they don't reproduce, because feminism taught women that children were a burden and they needed a career. Here's a commercial for that UB Tech robot made in China that I want Elon Musk to beat the living daylight. I'm going to turn the music down just in case it's copyrighted. But this is they're slightly smaller than Teslas. But that is a monstrous, terrifying army right there. Look, they can replace their own battery. Now, this is early. This is like first generation early. So I've seen them dance. I can see them march. They can walk. They can go upstairs. They can help you do laundry. Picture, I want you to picture, you know, like a Medicare thing. You know, the little, I've fallen and I can't get up medical device. What if you had one of these on emergency, parked in the garage, being recharged, and if you fell down, it could come, rescue you, call an ambulance, check your vitals. Look at this. Kenny Bates, holy cow, a $200 super chat. I guess the Love Miss Tenaple and I will be going out to dinner again tonight. Every time Kenny does a $200 super chat, I take the Love Miss Tenaple out for dinner. Okay. Let me get this happy patriot party started. What? Doug, the elite hate being called out. Be careful. True. Thank you, Kenny Bates, for that generous super chat. You cracked me up. He does that all the time, guys. He's insane. And so I've taken the Love of Miss Tenaple out a bunch. Okay, look at this. We got some Fannie Willis good news. She got canned. This is just funny. This is a little extra I'm throwing in. Fannie Willis out. Georgia prosecutor appoints himself to the Trump case. Peter Skandalakis is taking over the Trump election case himself after every prosecutor in Georgia suddenly developed allergies to political prosecutions. The council director admitted nobody would touch Fannie Willis's leftovers. They were probably afraid the Democrat Party and George Soros would off them, Hillary style. After she got disqualified for her secret affair with lead prosecutor, incompetent, unprofessional Nathan Wade. Skandalakis. Several prosecutors were contacted, and while all were respectful and professional, each declined the appointment. Willis turned a racketeering case into a romance novel. Now Skandalakis inherits 18 defendants, presidential pardons that don't apply to state charges, and a case nobody wants. So these are the state charges that Trump can't do his get his indemnity for. He's taking it to avoid dismissal, not because he's excited about prosecuting a single president. And Trump said, like, you're going to be dismissed if you don't take this. Georgia's hottest legal potato just got a reluctant new owner. Source, Fox News. I got a better and more personal source. This is my buddy John Eastman, constitutional scholar, used to be on the Hugh Hewitt show with Irving Chemerinsky, the leftist. And John Eastman is the one that came up with the alternate electors idea for Trump to try to persuade Mike Pence to pull off. That came from the brilliant John Eastman. Just a suggestion. And John Eastman lost everything, his career, his job. And I was in email contact with him at the time. We talked back and forth. But he was one of the ones indicted under Fannie Willis. And he did not plea out. So John Eastman writes that devil of a case down in Georgia that the disqualified DA Fannie Willis brought against me, President Trump, and the electors, got a new prosecutor just this morning. The head of the state, prosecuting attorneys, counsel himself, after others apparently declined. Yeah, no one wants this thing. The court has set December 1st for a status hearing. Pray that this new prosecutor will do the right thing and dismiss this travesty by then. And I agree. Let's take a look at this Peter guy. This is what he looks like, the bald dude. Peter, director, Peter Skandalakis, executive director, prosecuting attorneys council of Georgia, criminal justice coordinating council. Current position, led to the state-funded nonpartisan prosecuting attorneys. Previous experience, before this role, he served about 25 years as elected Republican district attorney for Atlanta. High-profile cases, he's been involved in other notable cases, such as the 220 killing of Rayshard Brooks, where he decided not to prosecute the Atlanta police officers involved. Yeah, I'd say he shakes out. Let's hear from, now, I like getting my news from weird sources. Look, everyone's still coming in. Lots of thumbs up, guys. We have 1,800 people watching all at once. Get your thumbs up. Get your thumbs up going. Look at Kim Shirley. Kenny Bates praying for you. Do pray for Kenny Bates. Our people are good people. Give them a prayer. Give them a thank you for helping fund this massive show. Here's John Voight on Mom Donnie. Boy, he is furious. The actor. Let's see. Midnight Cowboy. I liked him in Deliverance. Probably one of my favorite roles for him. And the Constitution one, where Nick Cage has to steal the Constitution from the U.S. government. Treasure, National Treasure, something like that. And he is Angelina Jolie's father.
This city will turn into a forbidden place of darkness. The blood, sweat, and tears that the city of New York was built on will turn into a virtual refugee shelter for the radical Muslim ideology. This is now the most dangerous time for our citizens of New York. This mayor will destroy this city. We are obligated to demand our rights for our private sanctuary, our businesses, our property that we all have worked so hard for. And this 35-year-old mayor has no right dictating the rules of socialism for a city built on our highest principles with brick and stone by hardworking Americans. This must be stopped, and his mayoralty should be terminated immediately.
Terminator.
You, the people of the greatest city, New York, are in danger of losing your city to this communist fool. We, the people, must stand for the greatest nation's purpose, the honor of our flag, the red, white, and blue, and for which it stands, one nation under God, and liberty and justice for all. This country, the United States of America, is the land of our greatest achievement, the American dream. And we, the people, have put our trust in the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. He and only he can stop this horror, as this Mayor Mamdani will try to destroy New York's wealth and turn it into a socialist crap city.
Socialist, Muslim turning into a socialist crap city. True. Praying for Kenny Bates. Everybody reaching out. Look at that. Prayers are free, guys. Ask God to bless you and heal you. There he is. He gives it a thumbs up. You just receive him, Kenny. Receive him. Kick back. Receive him. Mom Donnie, kick him out. Give that commie Muslim the boot. Yeah, he's a great patriot. Want to hear from Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat? This guy's absolute trash. Chris Murphy, Democrat. This is him. He's setting himself up for a lawsuit from Trump over the Epstein files.
And it is clearly the biggest scandal in presidential history. And he wouldn't be acting this way if he wasn't so deeply worried about what sits in those files. What we've already seen is immensely incriminating. Clearly, Donald Trump was at the center of a child sex ring. That is
okay. That is that now? I'm no legal scholar, but is that libeling someone or slandering someone? I don't know which one it would be. You guys can tell me in the chat. Trump is the center of a child sex trafficking ring with Epstein. This guy just lost $1 billion. Chris Murphy.
Heartbreaking that the president of the United States was involved in that kind of gross, craven immorality. And it
What about your donor, Reid Hoffman? He was the most involved of all of them. And you're not heartbroken at all about that. You'll take his money all day, dude.
It's the reason that he wouldn't be fighting so hard to spin against this story or bullying Republicans in the House to prevent the release of these files if there wasn't something especially and specifically incriminating.
No, and we're going to prove him wrong. All of the files were released. And Trump is now turning it back on the Democrats, going, yes, let's investigate the Democrats now that the files are released. 50,000 files. It wasn't Trump didn't want them released. It was a waste of time. There's no new information in there.
That information. Now, I think the scandal in and of itself could bring him down, but we also do have to contextualize it.
Just remember these words when he mentions how heartbroken he is over the trafficking ring, because that has to apply to any Democrat on that list. If Bill Clinton's in there, if major donors are in there, this guy has to continue and say, yes, I am heartbroken at Bill Clinton being at the center of a trafficking ring. Although I've heard that there's nothing in there on Bill Clinton, but I don't know that he's never been to the island, is according to Jeffrey Epstein. Now here's Comer on the Epstein files. Again, you guys know I don't like covering this stuff, but it's sucking all the air out of the room. And so any new factoid, the new factoid that I will cover all day is how Republicans can use this against Democrats, because Democrats wanted to bring it up and use it against us. Fine. You want to use it? Let's use it. Here's James Comer. Rep. James Comer. Records now show that when Michael Wolff, the New York Times, and House Oversight Democrats tried to take down President Trump the first time, they all worked with the same person, Jeffrey Epstein. Michael Wolff is a scum book writer against Trump, liar book writer. And they were all working with Epstein. It was Michael Wolff who actually contacted Jeffrey Epstein and said, let me tell you how to get Trump. He framed the whole thing, put it together. An oversight committee Democrat sought advice from Epstein in the middle of a hearing in 2019 to question a discredited witness with a vendetta against Trump. Democrats' hoax against President Trump continues to collapse. So they have nothing. Now we're going to turn around. Now we're bringing in the New York Times as part of it. I think Trump might need to sue them in addition to the Wall Street Journal on all this stuff. Now, I've shown you guys a lot of agreement with Trump. I'm going to show you guys some disagreement. Someone on Twitter came after me and said, you're being awful quiet about this clip, Doug. You're awful silent. I do disagree with Trump on this, on bringing Chinese workers, India workers into America. We're going to talk about this subject a little bit, but I just wanted to be honest with you guys and show you one very real point. My friends say, you'd never disagree with Trump. Bull. I disagree with him here.
Republicans have to talk about it.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's entirely possible we don't have enough talent. What if we need more AI programmers, more robot, brilliant genius techs? And we can find geniuses in China and we can find them in India. Tell me in the chat right now. Do we bring them in? Do we get the very best from around the world and bring them in? That's what Trump is saying. Laura Ingram's saying 2 points. Well, number one, she believes you can find them in America. And guys, America's school system is so bad. I don't think we're cranking out so many geniuses anymore. Because, you know, soft times create soft men. And you watch the dragon lady moms in China ride their kids, make them learn math with an abacus from the first day of school and play classical music. We don't have that discipline here. So is Trump making a good case that America doesn't produce enough geniuses? I'm going to let you guys tell me in the chat. My initial opinion is no. No. We have too many immigrants, especially not from China. I don't want them unless we can convert them to Christ and convert them to the Constitution. If we can do a jujitsu on them and convert them to be great Americans, I'm better with it. But right now, bad plan, hire Americans, work around it.
Have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way, guys. By the way, this is the downside of populism. Populism has a lot of pragmatism in it. When he told Laura Ingraham, he goes, that's not the way it works. Populism is not as principled, say, as something more closer to kind of a religious institution like constitutional conservatism. Populism kind of goes, hey, to hell with conservatism. This is what works. Trump says, you know, I can't win an election if I oppose gay marriage. So suddenly that's off the ticket. I'm not going to win an election if I try and say that the unborn fetus has a constitutional right to live. I am not going to win. And I have to win to save this country. And he's going, look, I understand the principle, but the hiring just from inside America is not how it works. So what we're really divided on this. Which way, guys? Is Laura Ingraham right? This is way more kind of conservative, harder right MAGA. And by the way, I'll also say probably Marjorie Taylor Greene is more against Trump on this too. And it was always Vivek Ramaswamy that wanted to import Indians with H-1B visas. So do we do it? Are we being too pure with a hard policy saying, I don't want to hire the smartest battery workers in the world. I'll convert one of our unemployed assembly line people. This is one of those conundrums, guys. Politics isn't easy. It's not that simple, is it? It's complicated and hard. Now, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I've given a lot of flack to her, but here she is. I support her on this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Fox News numbers say it all. 70% of H-1B visas, that's the work visa, go to India. 70%, ladies and gentlemen, go to India. 10 to 15% go to China. 10 to 15% go to China. MGT put a bill and H-1B visas. She did it tonight. Yes, she did. 80% are entry-level jobs that should be going to young Americans. 80% of entry-level jobs for these people from India and China. These are entry-level jobs, not genius jobs. Our own people are being pushed out of tech, medicine, and every major industry. I'm introducing a bill to eliminate H-1B visas to make sure American workers come first again. America has the most talented people in the world, and I will always fight for them. So here's another place of division between Marjorie Taylor Greene and the president.
700,000 H-1B visa holders in America. Now, who is coming to this country to take these high-skilled jobs? As I mentioned, STEM fields dominate the occupations.
STEM is science, tech, engineering, and math.
And most of the workers come from India. In fact, 70% of H-1B visa holders come from India. Another 10 to 15% come from China. 80% of H-1B visa approvals are for entry-level or junior-level jobs. That's a little hard to stomach when we hear that we're not talented enough or that we're not skilled enough for these jobs, when you consider that most of these jobs are actually at entry or junior level jobs.
So that reveals a scam, guys, that we're saying that we want to hire geniuses, but really we're hiring entry-level jobs. And guess what they do? Because these people come from dirt hellhole countries, they pay them dirt hellhole wages. I won't even say that that's unfair to Americans. That's unfair to the immigrants coming in, the H-1B workers. That's treating them like second-class people, which I don't even believe doing, even if it's from someone from another country. You don't treat them like second. You don't exploit. We're not here to exploit them with legal slavery. It's not fair. So we hire them instead of our own at entry-level jobs. That's what the H-1B visa did. It's roofers. They're pulling in every roof in this neighborhood is being redone all the time. All of them, Hispanic, illegal aliens. That's not a genius up on that roof replacing shingles. Those are jobs. And then it drives the wages down to the contractors that only hire Americans, because Americans have all these, out in California, Cal OSHA, you have to insure them. They have to pay their taxes. You have to pay them legally above the table. Maybe they don't work as hard. I've never seen someone do manual labor work as hard as Hispanics. I'm telling you, never seen anything like it.
And it's definitely to the benefit of corporations, tech companies that can hire foreign workers, trust me on this, cheaper than American workers. This is laid out, by the way, by billionaire tech entrepreneur Palmer Luckey.
There's so much.
Hey, this guy, Palmer Luckey, he's a buddy of mine. He's a huge Earthworm Jim fan. He created the Oculus goggles, and he sold them to Facebook for $8 billion. I once tried emailing Palmer. I'm going, hey, let's get a video game going. I need to start a company. How about some dough? He didn't answer. But now he's doing all these tech drones and government work, big money, big tech. Palmer Luckey, he's incredible. But here he is talking about the scam that is the H-1B visa.
H-1B abuse. You would not believe what I saw when I was in Silicon Valley. It is insane. It's obviously a program to try and replace U.S. workers with basically slave labor that can't ever escape. The H-1B abuse is crazy.
Palmer Luckey is right. So I'm going to go against Trump on this one. We're staying in the no to Trump camp. And finally, I'm going to end on a little bit of dessert. What do you guys think, though? Huh? Look, here's some good news on Katie Hobbs. Breaking. Democrat governor of Arizona, Katie Hobbs, is reportedly under investigation for bribery, fraud, conspiracy, racketeering, and participation in a pay-to-play scheme. There. How's that for the news, my people? Everybody, did you get your fill yet? Did I feed you well? You came to my restaurant and I put out the tablecloth and little rows on the table, and I brought you a meal of news. News that I thought wasn't over covered by everybody on the entire dang planet. Because I like having fun, but important, culturally important. These are big tectonic plates moving in politics, guys. I didn't vote for her, for Katie Hobbs. Good. I dropped my snack. Yeah, let's get Katie. Everyone's on board with that. Lots of thumbs up. Great news tonight. I sleep better. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're going to have to straighten out Katie Hobbs. But I'm still, my number one guy. I want Merrick Garland. I also want Alejandro Mayorkas for opening up the border. Those are two scalps I really want to see indicted. I think Adam Schiff is more politics, not a big deal. It's those Department of Justice ones in leadership. Christopher Wray at the FBI, Merrick Garland, Alejandro Mayorkas, any general, General Milley, Clapper, anyone in tech, big money, big CIA, those are the ones that I want. Worse, because I just feel like they really screwed the American people over and hunted Trump. And frankly, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, just for a lifetime of grifting. Well, I hope we learned a lot about afros today, and we learned a lot about Michelle Obama probably being the only black woman who hates white people so much that she thinks we invented the standard that makes her straighten her hair. What a cross, bizarre weirdo. This is someone who is richer, I'm pretty sure, than nearly everyone in my audience, Michelle Obama. Hundreds of millions of dollars on her Netflix deals, 6 houses, oceanfront property in Hawaii, murdered her chef. Whoops, did that come out? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, make sure you give us a thumbs up. You guys are commenting just great. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, right around noon Central, with my first video for you guys as we wrap up this weekend. Stay happy, Patriots. Remember, we're fighting for the Patriot on our right and our left. It's the Patriots that hold us together. It's not the Constitution. We use the Constitution. The Constitution is a contract. That's what we wrote down. But the Constitution without people is nothing. And so this is about developing we the people. We're the Patriots. This is our country. This is our home. You don't come and steal jobs in our home. You don't come and set up your own border, your own language, and your own culture. This is our living room. America is our living room. Love USA, $10 super chat. I'm in IT, H-1B. I earn a lot, at least $140K, much higher than average Americans. The problem is outsourcing, all caps, not H-1B. Now, 95% of our IT jobs have been directly outsourced to India with 1/8 our salary. So guys, even if you don't allow the H-1B visas to bring them over here, we'll just outsource it over the internet and have them do the work over there and pay 1/8 of the salary. But it's the same thing with manufacturing in China. I've tried making those little plastic action figures in China. And, we don't manufacture plastics here. You pay another country to do your crap work with chemicals, work dangerously because their value of human life is so cheap because they're so populated, both China and India. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love working for you. This has been a blast today. I get to go back to my oil painting. The beloved Miss Tenaple is out babysitting tonight for a young couple at church. And she's wonderful to me. We had a wonderful day together. I love getting to spend another day with the beloved Miss Tenaple. Even after 35 years, she's the happiest part of my day. That and spending time praying to God. But third place is getting to spend time with you. And I hope I don't ever waste your time, but just so you know, it's a pleasure that every one of you, I get to bring you the news. I'm Doug in Exile.